Have you ever caught yourself in the middle of an emotion and quietly asked, "Wait, who is noticing this?" You're angry, and some small part of you watches the anger. You're anxious, and some small part of you watches the anxiety. That quiet watcher has a name, and today we are going to meet it. Welcome back. This is chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita, Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. And honestly, it might be the most quietly life-changing chapter in the entire Gita. Not because it's dramatic, but because it answers one question we rarely stop to ask. Who am I beneath my body, my mind, and my story? Let's find out. Arjuna comes to Krishna with a very human curiosity. He wants to understand the body, the soul, nature, consciousness, the real knowledge. And Krishna begins with something surprisingly simple. He says, "This body of yours, it's called the kshetra, the field. Your body is a field. Your mind is a field. Your emotions, your memories, your personality, your habits, all of it is part of this ever-changing field. Think about it. The body you have today is not the body you had 10 years ago. Your opinions have changed. Your fears have changed. Even your face has changed. Everything that changes belongs to the field." So, here's the first quiet realization. You have a body and a mind, but you are not only your body and mind. They are instruments, beautiful, same time complex, necessary instruments, but an instrument is not the musician. So, if the body and mind are the field, who's playing the instrument? Krishna calls this the Kshetrajna, the knower of the field, the one who witnesses everything happening in the field without being swept away by it. Here's the beautiful part. Your thoughts change minute to minute. Your emotions change hour to hour. Your body changes year to year. But something in you has been quietly present through every single one of those changes. Watching, noticing, aware. That awareness never left. It was there when you were 5 years old, and it's here right now. So, next time anxiety shows up, try this small shift. Instead of saying, "I'm anxious," try noticing, "I'm aware of anxiety." That single shift in language is actually a shift in identity. Because just because you feel something doesn't mean you are that something. Now, here's where Krishna does something unexpected. Arjuna asked for knowledge, and Krishna doesn't hand him a philosophy textbook. Instead, he gives a list of qualities: humility, non-violence, patience, simplicity, self-control, detachment. Wait, isn't knowledge supposed to be information? Facts? Data? Krishna is saying something deeper here. Real knowledge isn't what you know, it's who you become. You can memorize every scripture in existence and still lose your temper in traffic. Real wisdom shows up not in what a person says, but in how they live, how they treat people, how they hold themselves when nobody's watching. A wise person is recognized by their character, not their vocabulary. Now Krishna gently turns towards something we all struggle with: attachment. Not to people, not to love, but to the grip we place on possessions, status, relationships, outcomes. Notice, Krishna never says don't love. He never says don't work hard, don't care, don't want things. He says love deeply. Just don't lose yourself inside what you love. Because so much of our suffering doesn't come from the situation itself. It comes from how tightly we are gripping to it. Hold your life with open hands, not clenched fists. Then Krishna widens the lens even further. He describes this supreme reality as present everywhere, within all beings, beyond every boundary we have drawn. Which means that same essence inside you is inside the stranger you passed on the street today, inside someone you disagree with, inside someone who hurt you. This isn't just poetry, it's a practical teaching, because the moment you sense the same spark in someone else, judgment softens, respect deepens. You start seeing people instead of just roles and labels. Krishna then introduces two words that sound complicated but are actually beautifully simple. Prakriti, nature. This is matter, the body, the mind, the whole material world in motion. Purusha, consciousness, the silent witnessing presence. Life, Krishna says, happens through the meeting of both. Prakriti is the movie playing. Purusha is the one watching the screen. You need both to understand your life fully, the world you are moving through, and the awareness observing you move through it. Here's a line worth sitting with. A truly wise person, Krishna says, sees the same divine presence in every living being, regardless of how different they appear on the surface. Different bodies, different backgrounds, different beliefs, but underneath, one and the same essence. This is where compassion is born, not from pretending we are all identical, but from recognizing that beneath our differences there is a shared thread of being. Now, one of the most comforting teachings in this entire chapter, Krishna compares the self to space. Think about that for a second. A room can be filled with smoke, chaos, noise, even destruction, but the space of that room, it's never stained, never burned, never broken. Whatever happens within space does not damage the space itself. Your deepest self is like that. Life will bring pain, loss, disappointment, heartbreak. These things are real and they affect us deeply. Krishna never dismisses that. But your core, the awareness of your center, remains untouched. Difficult experiences shape your story. They do not define your essence. And this is where chapter 13 lands its final quiet punch. Krishna says, when you understand the difference between what changes and what remains constant, you gain clarity. And with clarity comes freedom. Not freedom from life, freedom within it. So, how do we actually live this? Let's make it simple. Observe your thoughts. Don't become them. Practice humility and self-control. every single day. Loosen your grip on unhealthy attachments. Look for the same spark of life in everyone you meet. Build self-awareness, one honest moment at a time. And remember, your circumstances do not define you. If chapter 13 had to be captured in a single line, it would be this. You're not merely the body, mind, or emotions. You are the aware presence that witnesses them all. And maybe that's the real gift of this chapter. It doesn't ask you to escape your life. It asks you to see it differently, because freedom doesn't begin when life gets easier. Freedom begins the moment we stop asking, "What is happening to me?" and start asking instead, "Who is the one experiencing it?" If this made you pause even for a moment, that pause is the practice. Take a breath, sit with it, and I'll see you in the next chapter.